series, Hopeful Holidays, and what can be more hopeful than brightening children's lives? That's what Genevieve Pituro is doing as the founder of an organization called Pajamas Program, which promotes reading and provides new pajamas to underprivileged children. What can a simple pair of pajamas mean for a child? Watch.
It makes me feel like proud, a little special.
They're fluffy and stuff.
It means a lot, so I can sleep comfortable.
It is a simple comfort that goes a long way.
They're magical, and I've seen it time and again. It translates love miraculously from the person who has the pajamas to the little one who's being handed the pajamas.
That's right, one pair of pajamas has grown into a powerful movement.
Sebastian.
It is early morning at Pajama Program's Reading Center in New York City, and Genevieve Pituro is right where she wants to be.
These are so cute. Love these.
The founder of the charity is on a mission.
Pajama Program provides new pajamas and new books, and we call them magical gifts, to children who need them the most.
In the late 90s, Pituro had a successful career in marketing, but she felt that something was missing in her life. So she began reading to children at homeless shelters and was shocked by what she saw at bedtime.
The children had nothing to change into, and some of them were wearing clothes that were dirty and just didn't fit them.
So she began giving pajamas to children in need.
The more excitement from the children, the more gratitude from the staff, the more I felt good.
Over the past 16 years, she helped build Pajama Program into a nationwide charity. Today they have 63 chapters and have provided more than 5 million books and pajamas.
It changes how they feel. There's so much self-esteem missing. There's so much insecurity they're feeling. There's so much abandonment and loneliness. And it just somehow fills that emptiness, even temporarily. And that's good enough for a start.
This is a group of fifth graders from a New York City public school taking part in one of the center's programs called Reading Buddy Plus.
And kindness, actually, they say it's contagious.
Also on hand is a special guest, author Laura Schroff, who wrote about Pituro in her book, Angels on Earth.
She clearly is an angel on earth. She had this purpose, and she's achieving it, and it's amazing.
We have pajamas for them that we've wrapped with ribbon and their name. We all clap, and they feel like a star for just 20 seconds, and it's the best feeling for those children. It's a really great feeling for all of us big kids too.
The children's enthusiasm says it all.
Cool, awesome. I can read better, and I can spend time with my buddy.
I got a book of owls, and I got a pajama of owls, so that kind of matches. I feel thankful.
Laura Schroff's book is Angels on Earth, and Genevieve Pituro, founder of the Pajama Program, is here with us today. Genevieve, it's great to meet you. Thank you for being here.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
So this whole thing, I think a lot of people like you had no idea that this was even an issue for underprivileged children, not having pajamas to sleep in. This all started for you 16 years ago when you had an interaction with one little girl at a shelter. Tell us about it.
Right. I had no plan to change my life from climbing the corporate ladder until one day there was a little voice that said, if this is the next 30 years, is this enough? And I realized I was missing something very important.
That's a great question. If this is the next 30 years, is this enough? Think about that.
Yeah, and I was in my late 30s, and I was surprised when myself whispered, no, you missed the boat. And I realized it didn't have a family of my own, and I thought I'd love to include more children in my life. I love to read. Maybe I could read in a shelter. And I made some calls, and I was welcomed. And I went in, and once a week, different shelters, sat on the floor with the children, and they were so quiet. I didn't know what they'd been through, but I could tell that they were just so afraid and uncomfortable, but they listened to the stories. And one night, I just for some reason followed the staff, loving staff, taking them to sleep somewhere. And when they opened the door and I saw them helping the kids on the surfaces, the couches, the futons, I saw my mom at my bedtime, which was wonderful, my sister and my brothers, and this was nothing like it. They didn't have anything to change into. And I thought, oh my goodness. And I asked them, can I bring pajamas next week? I don't know why, it just popped into my head. And they said, that would be lovely. And I was so excited all week, and that's all I thought about. I brought pajamas, sat on the floor. After I read, I gave them out. One little girl wouldn't take them, but she was watching me, and she didn't want to leave. And finally, she was the last one. And I tried again to give them to her, and I knelt down, and she whispered, what are they? Wow. And I couldn't believe I heard that. Broke my heart. And I just didn't want her to see me cry. I didn't want her to think she did anything wrong.
You've made it your life's mission to make sure fewer and fewer children have to ask that question. And a good night's sleep is so important in mental health and physical health for children.
Right.
And pajamas help. They help. They help the comfort level and just sort of the mental process of it's time to go down and get my sleep and get my rest. I want to tell you, Genevieve, that you always need more books. You always need more. So we reached out to Scholastic, your longtime partner, and through the Scholastic Possible Fund, Scholastic Book Clubs is going to donate 10,000 books to the pajama program. And hold on, we also reached out to Carter's. You know Carter's, right? And they are donating 10,000 pajamas. Over the last 8 years, Carter's has donated over $6 million and over 1 million pajamas to the program. So they are amazing. Good for you, Carter's.
Oh, that's
and finally,
great.
we asked our audience to help too. And they brought pajamas with children's books here today to donate to the program. Thank you, audience. Thank you so much. And good news, good news. Thanks to Simon & Schuster. Everyone in the audience is getting a copy of Laura Schroff's book, Angels on Earth. God bless you, Genevieve. Thank you so much. Thank you. Merry Christmas.